this is the first episode of...
I've already knocked the mic, I've ruined it, sorry.
Oh shit. Start again. No, I might keep that in, it's authenticity.
Oh yeah, no, it's just keeping it real here, keeping it real.
So, this is the first episode of a gaming podcast series. We're going to do the first one on E3 because, everyone loves E3. It's the thing that everyone talks about in gaming.
But we weren't exactly going to do it about anything else, were we?
Yeah, true. What other news is there when E3 is happening? So, loads of people are doing E3 content, so we should probably kind of give a little bit of our perspective to give it some kind of context. So we're both PC gamers, not exclusively. Well, at the minute, yeah, exclusively. I don't...
I wouldn't even call myself a PC gamer right now because I don't really play many games. But
Shh, the kids won't like that. I love games.
Video games are my favourite. Digital sports.
Yeah. Well,
I managed to fit that in there then.
we're gamers at heart, even if we're not gamers in practice.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to work, which is it's a shame, but gaming still takes some time in our lives, I would say. So,
And we should really stop eating sweets while doing a podcast because it is distracting.
okay, I'll stop chewing.
Oh,
So yeah, well, I don't know. I might get a console this year, but I'm still not 100% sure. Most of the good games that came out of E3 are coming out on PC anyway.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good games coming out. By the way, I'm Dish.
And Whitefish, or we can use should we use our real names on a podcast?
I don't know.
I
Go on then. My name is Michael James Fogg.
My name is Sam. I'll stick with
Just Sam. No, I'm going to go for the full-blown name. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Facebook stalked me.
I'm just terrified of all
anyone who's actually going to watch this and care will listen.
the internet fame is a scary prospect for me seeing now. Obviously, this is going to generate a lot of heat on the internet.
Oh yeah, no, I'm expecting creepy people figuring out where I live.
Within hours, yeah.
Yeah, within hours of this podcast going up, just flocking round for minor grievances and irritation.
So we should probably talk about the conference thing that they did there at E3.
Oh, that little gathering they had. What did it call?
Electronic
Entertainment Expo.
That's the one.
Or, propaganda, as I like to call it. Just propaganda.
That is the thing with E3. It is always propaganda, but once you see past that, there is some things to get excited about. You just have to
CG trailers?
I don't know, it's kind of like when you watch...
Announcements
adverts.
you don't give a shit about?
Yeah.
Hey, have you bought a Kinect yet?
But did you not see Reggie Fils-Aimé fighting in an animated CG cutscene for Nintendo? Did that not make it all worth it for you?
I'm going to go with no. No, it did not. I can't say I saw that. I didn't really watch E3, to be honest. I don't know. I watched through Sony's press conference, and it was so boring.
Yeah, it did go on a little bit.
Because the problem with this E3 is, as everyone has already stated, this E3 is like the E3 where everyone's announced their consoles. All the consoles are out now. They've already had that last year. That was a massive favor. Ooh, look at the brand new shiny toys. Still not games for them.
Yeah.
But hey, you've got the shiny new toy. Eventually, a game will come along and you'll be able to play it, and it won't be shit. But so far, balls to that.
Yeah.
But watching the thing this year was all they were doing was rehashing bits of gameplay into the CG trailers of the games they announced last year when the consoles were announced. Oh, hey, this is nearly here, kind of, not really. 2015.
Yeah, there's, of course, I remember with the PS3 where they said, we have this many games coming out this year, and those games actually came out over a 4-year period.
Yeah.
Some of the later ones, but, that always happens. There were some cool games released. We can start with Sony if you want. We've got a few notes.
Go on,
talking about
Sony.
What amazing things. Magica 2 as well. Obviously, Magica 2 will be coming out, presumably multi-platform.
Oh, yeah.
But Sony got the trailer, the reveal.
Yeah, and I was slightly disappointed. It wasn't as funny as I thought. But I really enjoyed the Magica trailer. I just like the real life things they do. I always found them really funny. I really enjoyed Magica, but I didn't find it as funny as it was. But I really am excited about that. I fucking loved Magica 1.
Yeah. Well, Magica 2, the trailer, there's a bit where he's looking at a newspaper thing where it shows the advert, Wizard Wanted, and I paused it, and because it's all high quality, obviously, and was reading all the other articles. And there's loads and loads of joke articles, and also just actual columns from presumably whatever newspaper they've actually taken it off about economics or something like that, which wasn't very funny, but I combed it for jokes.
Hey, it might have been funny. You just didn't really get it. It was really highbrow.
Magica 2 is very highbrow humour.
No, yeah, no. It was just clearly highbrow economic laughs.
Yeah. What else did... Grim Fandango, they announced that. Presumably that'll be multi-platform.
I don't care.
Yeah, I never played
don't
the original.
care.
But I feel like, as old gamers as we are now, it's something we should be, shaking our canes in the air. Hey, hooray!
Oh, yeah! I remember Grim Fandango. It was, I don't know. I like Grim Fandango, but there's no need to remaster it. At all. Like,
Well,
I don't know.
It doesn't even run on, Windows 7, Windows 8 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess
it's available on Steam though. No, I'm not 100% sure about that. It might be available on Good Old Games. I'm sure you can get it somewhere reasonably easy, and you can get it running reasonably easy. But either way, without the art style and the fact it's a point-and-click adventure game, why? What exactly are they going to remaster?
Yeah, it'll just look pretty nostalgia fest, with the success of Kickstarter and stuff. So many games are coming out, rehashing of old games. And I kind of like it, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, I as I can show you right now, down here, I have Spin Tires and the Stomping Ground, which I kickstarted those projects, and I've just got my CD keys through. I haven't really kickstarted anything else since then, and that was a very long time ago now.
I watched Jim Sterling play through the Spin Tires the other day. He wasn't having a very good time. I think he got stuck in about 10 seconds.
Oh, lovely, good. No, he's great at that. I haven't actually played it yet.
Oh,
like most of the games I purchase, it's just probably going to sit on my SSD drive until I need some room, so I'll delete it. But it'll be fine.
To keep that perfect shape of icons on your desktop.
I just want the pyramid. It's actually slightly ruined. There should be icons here, so I'm going to need to download more games so I can have my pyramid back. Because without those two, perfect pyramid.
You'll have to print screen that.
No, I was going to say no one can see this. Yeah. This is terrible.
Don't worry, you will be able to see it. Maybe.
Maybe.
No, I don't know.
Do I want to print screen my desktop and plaster it on the internet? Yeah, go on, it'll be fine.
Just delete all the the child porn or something. Anyway, moving on.
You had to make it Ian Watkins all over this place, didn't you? Is that his name?
I have no idea.
The lead singer of Lost Prophets.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Ian Watkins? I'm sure it's Ian Watkins.
Too soon.
A little too soon? I don't think so, pedo bastard. Anyway.
So Sony talked about hardware. They were like the only ones who talked about hardware. The PS4 TV, PS Vita TV, which is basically a $100 gadget. It's a $100 gadget you have in your house, like the Skybox thing where you can have Sky in another room.
Yeah.
It's like that, but you can play Vita games on it, plug them straight into it, and you can also play games on your PS4 that is elsewhere in the house. So, I don't know. It's something.
So basically, they've made a Steam box with the only issue that anyone ever cares about with the Steam box, which is streaming.
I think you need a PS4 as well, though. I could be wrong.
Oh no, yeah, you will. I'm guessing it's just a streaming service, so you turn your PS4 on and it streams to the box and then to your TV. I mean, I'm guessing here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can put Vita games directly into it, so maybe you can play it like a Vita on your TV.
Yeah.
And to do PS4 stuff, obviously, you would have to have the PS4.
So basically, it's exactly the same as the Steam box I plan on buying. Because
Yeah,
I'm just going to buy a little. Well, I may just rebuild my old PC and put that together, attach it to the TV, and I'll just stream my PC to that PC, and they can just play games on the TV. Not that I'd have any games. I'd just be streaming Netflix, really. But whatever.
Steam, they didn't really do anything at E3. Well, maybe they did. I didn't see anything of them. Anyway, Sony, Mortal Kombat 10. Never really been a big fan of Mortal Kombat. Looks pretty.
It's pretty depressing when you start to get to the point where you've got 10 on the end. I mean, how many sequels are you gonna? Surely they've done the course with this by now. There's only so many times I can detach the limbs of someone and say fatality.
I think I watched a little review of it by someone who loved the series, and they said they'd done it just as well in the past two games, but there really wasn't any need to rehash it. Although, of course, it's next gen; they need one for the new system. Order
Prettier
18.
blood physics. Yeah, that's what they need, really.
Yep, extra bones being snapped. Order in 1866. This game looks less and less good the more I see of it. First trailer.
To be fair, every time I read that, all I can think of is that's a really depressing order number for a waiter to take. This is order 1866. The table is really fucking far away. Enjoy the walk.
Yeah.
Oh god, sweet lord.
I'm not excited for this game. Not really.
I slightly am. Kind of. I don't know. I mean, we've not seen any gameplay.
I think there was a little bit of gameplay.
Was there gameplay? I mean, when I watched the show, I didn't see any gameplay. Or at least or did I? I think I did, actually.
I'm pretty sure there was some gameplay, but I could be completely wrong.
I'm not sure.
If it wasn't gameplay, it was very gameplay-esque CGI, you know, like third-person perspective shooting things, so I don't know. There were a lot of games.
Even if you had seen gameplay, it would have been so scripted it wouldn't really matter and would not show off the final product.
Well, I mean, cool concept, but I doubt it's going to come out good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I've got an eye on. And by an eye on, I mean the lazy eye, just sort of drifting off to the side. It's in my peripheral vision of my... It's not even like fully being looked at. It's just in the peripheral vision of my lazy eye. It's sort of there, being really weird.
I kind of have that same position on the next game, Destiny. I don't know. Like,
you know, after seeing gameplay of it, no, it's not really exciting. But I was gonna say, you know what, I'm feeling it, but no, I'm not. I watched gameplay of it, and it was Bungie, so it looks solid.
That's the thing. It looks good, but something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded by the Halo franchise. But I just kind of don't expect it to be good. Maybe it will.
I always enjoyed the Halo franchise. I have fond memories of playing Halo 2 on Legendary co-op around Luke's house. But it's just I never got into the Halo franchise. I enjoyed the shooty bang bang, and you know the physics. It was good fun to play, but like
plot wise and stuff.
Oh no, not that crap. I didn't care. Yeah. It's like, oh, Master Chief. I'm like, oh, it's just a bloke in armour. I mean, we've had many blokes in armour over the years.
Hero.
Yeah. It's just I don't need another Space Marine to ride around in. It's just like whatever. I liked the game because it was a solid game. I didn't really like any of the everything else. I mean, the setting is pretty cool. That's about it, really. Like the world they came up with was nice enough,
like,
I suppose, but I didn't really care.
I haven't read any of them, but the books are supposed to be quite good, which shows they made a good world, I guess.
Which I mean, in terms of Destiny, it's like. Yeah, it's going to be a solid game, but at the same time, MMO first-person shooters which bring in levelling systems which directly relates to damage, which I'm not sure if it's the case, but I think is the case with this, are boring as anything. The whole point of a first-person shooter is the skill of the game is in shooting the other person more than they shoot you, so they fall over and have a nap.
I think it's more supposed to be kind of like Borderlands-esque than...
exactly, which is boring.
I don't know, like a lot of games are starting to do it. They really think they're on to something.
The problem is, though, people play FPSs to get better at them. Like, millions of people don't play Call of Duty because of any reason other than they want to be good at Call of Duty.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's the fun aspect of it, like, you know, getting better at aiming, learning that position when you can throw a knife into the air and kill someone at the beginning of a match and laugh down the microphone, even though it only occurs every 1,500 battles.
Well, yeah, any game that gives you, like, that kind of solid feedback every half an hour is going to kind of install that experience.
The problem with MMO FPSs, however, is the fact that you don't get better yourself. Your character does. And everyone likes to see something grow. It's an innate thing in humans. That's why we kind of like video games with levelling systems. And it does appeal to certain people. But most of the FPS market, it has been shown time and time again, don't like that.
Yeah.
If you're creating an FPS game, it's got to be a competitive game. That's where FPSs came from in the first place.
People will cry imbalance when there is none. When there actually is an imbalance, it gets bad. So yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can't tie it into damage. If you're going to do a levelling system, it has to be for something else, like abilities or something. But the abilities shouldn't change with the levels, because otherwise it's just tedious. Because then everyone has to be level 100 or whatever it will be to actually play any versus modes where you're fighting other players, and that's got to be some sort of the end game for it, because otherwise no one wants to play environmental with first-person shooters. The first-person shooter crowd is a load of people who like shooting other people in the face or the dick, you know. It's kind of, there's a lot of dickheads.
Those kind of modeler games, they work really well, like, to start with. If you get on that train at day one, it's like MMOs, for example. Like, when you're playing through all the levels and everyone else is your level, you can have quite an engaging experience, but you come to play it 3 months later, everyone is the highest level, you're not going to enjoy playing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can't even play with mates, because you turn up and then something accidentally hits you and you die.
Or they just run around punching all your bosses. And
exactly. Yeah, let's go and do this dungeon. Oh, you're one-shotting everything. Great, no, I'm having so much fun levelling with my friends, yeah.
Well, we're giving Bungie too much publicity here, even if it is vaguely negative publicity.
Vaguely negative.
No Man's Sky, this game.
I don't get it.
How do you know?
I want to love it, but I don't get it.
You're. It's like Isaac Asimov, like the developer said it the best, or at least showed it from his perspective, because he's just he's a sci-fi nerd who likes the old school sci-fi, so he just wants to create like infinite worlds that you can explore. And
that's the point, though. Why?
There is no overriding mission. There is no quests.
Exactly. What's going to drive me to play the game? Like, I get the whole shooting in space. That's kind of fun, but that's going to grow old.
I think it's appealing for kind of the journey kind of crowd is what it's going for. Like, to give you, because it's an MMO, so you can see other people, you can interact with them, but you're scattered
I didn't know it
across.
was an MMO. But I thought it was multiplayer and all that jazz. I didn't realise they were going for the full MMO thing, because I thought, hey, tiny studio, what the hell are they going to do for servers?
Oh shit!
Oh, lovely. Leaving his telephone on during the recording of a podcast. That is horrible.
Hello.
Oh, now we got a phone call.
Hello. It's okay. Yeah, I was going to ask to borrow your phone, but it doesn't matter. I've left the house and I shall no longer need it. No, it's fine.
This is wonderful. Thrilling stuff.
Alright, it's fine. I'm just going to go back to recording because me and Frog are midway through talking.
Yeah, it's just fine. It's fine. Just keep talking.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Professional stuff there.
I'm joking. We can cut that.
Leave it in. It'll be fine.
So, what were we talking about?
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't even remember what I was saying.
Oh yeah, so this.
Oh yeah, it was
Journey.
MMO.
Yeah, it's not going to be a guided journey, so some people I think will tire of it extremely fast. But I don't know.
Well, if they make it all that pops into my head is Privateer, which I doubt anyone will know what Privateer is, or Privateer 2, which was apparently awful. Never
Tell us what Privateer is.
Wing Commander, way back in the day,
Okay, I know Wing
did FMV games and all that jazz. Privateer was a spin-off of that. And it was the first kind of space sim where it was completely open, like you could do anything. And it was mentally detailed, though. You could go around and dogfight, shoot people down. If they escape through their escape pod, you could then pick them up and sell them to the slave trade. It was ridiculous in some fashion, but you could literally do anything in that game. You could trade anything, literally, people, the whole 9 yards.
So many kind of games like that. I remember playing Jetware versions.
Freelancer, that's another one as well. That's the more recent one that more people know. If it's like Freelancer, I'm all in, because that was fun. If it's got basically, if it's Eve with actual combat.
See, I don't think there is no progression. There's no levels.
Well, I don't mind
progression.
that.
Your ship gets upgrades in terms of I don't know how it's.
Well, you probably get
better
guns
weapons
and all that, yeah, and then probably some top level gear or whatever.
They talk about rewards and stuff like that, but there won't be any. I don't know. It's hard to see how it'll really work. I don't even know if you'll be able to fight other players or whether all the enemies are just AI yet. There's so much to be released.
Well, if they make it like Eve, I'll be all in. Like Eve just with actual combat. I mean, Eve's doing that themselves with their new game, but I don't think that's actually an MMO proper. That'll be sort of location, like arena-based fighting with a hub.
We'll have to wait and see, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
I mean, well, the problem is the server load would be humongous, and a tiny little indie team would not be able to really... I don't think they could develop the engine to really handle all that, then maintain the game after release.
The engine will be like Kingdom Hearts flying level of detail. It's just going to look at the pretty colours and discover dinosaurs and minerals called Agadabaditinium, and yes, I am the first guy to discover Agadabaditinium. Anyway, next game.
Yeah.
5.
Can't wait. Best game ever. Game of E3.
Well, obviously, we both love the MGS series.
I love it. It's one of those things where you love it, but you shouldn't, because it's awful. It really is. Well, no, I mean MGS3 was actually relatively good. And MGS1 was kind of groundbreaking-ish, even if the camera just feels like a headache these days. But 4 was just the stupidest thing.
Yeah, I really enjoyed 4.
I
understand all the criticism.
Don't get me wrong. I am exactly the same. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's the stupidest thing ever.
Convoluted bullshit, maybe. But,
If there was a meter to judge the levels of convoluted bullshit in that game, you would need a bigger meter. It wouldn't really matter how big you made it. It would never be big enough. You could literally just draw an infinity
All the
symbol on
world's
it and
resources.
it'd still be half full.
Yeah, at least maybe even 3/4. Anyway, moving on from that. So yeah, the trailers didn't tell you anything about the game, but it looks cool. Explosions.
Explosions!
What's his name? Big Boss. Everyone kind of likes Big Boss because they haven't ruined him yet. So
have they brought the guy who plays Snake back?
David Hendrick, I think his name is.
No, it's David something. I can't remember his name. David Hayter.
Oh, yeah, David Hayter.
David Hayter, yeah, because they sacked him off, didn't they, for the guy who played the guy in 24. His name I
I really should know that. He really does kind of make the Metal Gear Solid
He really
series.
does. It's just you can't sack him at this point because listening when they put the trailer out with the guy who voiced Big Boss or whatever in the demo that they released and called the game and charged way too much money for. It just sounded awful. It was like, oh no, now Snake is just a generic good guy.
Yeah.
Oh look, he's got his stubble, his kind of hair and gruff
They really
voice.
should work on new character design. And they've had 3 different characters now that all look exactly the same. At any age, he looks exactly the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, it's MGS. We'll probably love MGS 5 when it comes out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna buy a console to play that game. I nearly bought a PS4 to play a PS3 to play MGS4. Luckily Steve had it, so I just went around to his house and played it. Took me all night. It was great.
But the only game more mysterious than MGS 5 is obviously the new Pseudo 51 title. I think it's called Let It.
New Pseudo 51 dash what?
Yeah, that's pretty much my
What?
impressions of the video. I think it's called
I never
Let It
saw
Die.
that. I know. Oh, I skipped that bit.
And it's
I was skipping the video at that point.
it looks like some kind of
Out of sheer
1v1 brawlery, fightery, level based. Like people had level bars and it's very hard to
I'm
explain.
literally
but,
falling asleep on the spot.
but it's Pseudo
that sounds
51,
really
so
dull.
it looked.
Yeah, but Pseudo 51 just appears to be slapping his name on everything these days.
I guess so.
Because some of the games that come out with his name on do not necessarily bespoke quality with his name.
It's
Or his
just
name doesn't
unusual
bespoke
for him.
quality, rather.
Like if it didn't say Pseudo 51 before it, it would look like the most generic actiony bullshit ever. But because it's Pseudo 51, we're all like, okay, there's more to this.
There'll be a button that you press, and then everything will go zany black and white, and
And a dating mini game.
yeah,
Yeah, of course, Pseudo 51. Anyway,
it's Pseudo 51, so something will go mentally wrong halfway through the game.
GTA 5 is finally coming out on platforms that matter. PC, obviously, mainly. Everyone cares.
Yeah.
And the PS4.
And that other one that no one actually bought.
It looks really pretty, but I honestly have no interest in the actual game itself, so I'll probably watch a YouTube video of it in 1080p and go, ooh, that looks nice. And maybe when the modding scene gets big, then I'll consider buying it.
like the modding thing was the main cause to buy GTA 4 on PC.
Yeah.
But when I bought GTA 4 on PC, it died. It still dies. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. My PC is a bit of a beast, and it will eat it up and play it happily at like 100 frames.
They have a really bad reputation of porting.
Yeah, and it still does. Every hour on the hour, it just crashes for no reason. As soon as it loads a cutscene, it just doesn't.
Yep.
And then you have to piss around trying to get to control or delete. And of course, the game stays up, so you have to fiddle around with your mouse to find out where the hell your mouse is on the screen and where the hell that is. Oh god.
That's how many series have done it away. Like, I'm pretty sure GTA 1 came out on the PC before it came out on, the PS1.
Yeah, it did.
But now the PC's like, we'll give it you a year later. 'cause
Yeah.
I guess it's because of pirating and stuff, and they just want their money. Rockstar don't give a fuck about their consumers, just give us all our money.
Give me the monies. Well, to be fair, the PS4 and Xbox, whatever the fuck they call it, the Xbox One, I forgot its name, it's so irrelevant. It's coming out on that at the same time, so it's not like they've delayed it from PC. They've probably just like been prettying it up. And to be fair, like the PS3 and Xbox 360 code completely differently to the PS4 and the whatever it's called. And the PC is kind of closer to these new consoles for coding, so I can imagine A, porting will be easier this generation, B, the reason they've delayed it slightly is because they were literally just porting it to all 3 of them.
Yeah,
So-
I think I recall someone saying about Archetype and porting being easy this generation.
Yeah.
But next game, Batman.
Batman, na 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 Batman. You didn't write that, but I wish you had.
No.
Why'd you write Batman 3 times in capitals?
Because Batman,
Batman,
that was the reaction to everyone.
Batman. That's what you were doing. It's
Like,
fine.
I respect these new wave of Batman games, but
They
honestly,
look good, but I just don't care enough to play them.
It's Batman. Like, I was kind of bored of Batman 10 years ago when it.
Well, as many people have said on various things, Batman is the least interesting character in all of the series. All the interesting people are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Batman's just sort of there to punch him in the face and throw him in prison afterwards. But really, we care about the bad guys escaping from prison.
Yeah, I don't think anyone said, "Oh no, I can't wait to see what happens with the new Batman in this game." It's just, "Oh, your car shoots guns and
it's
fly."
all like, "Oh, I've got a new car, and who's the bad guy this time?" Everyone's like, "Oh, who's the bad guy?"
It's a tech demo. It's a glorified tech demo, but it looks gorgeous. Like, you see him flying around the city. That looks like amazing fun to fly around. So maybe I'll play it. But.
Yeah, well, I don't know, I may buy this one, because the combat... The combat system looks kind of cool. And, I don't know, I like the look of the games, I just never really cared enough about Batman as a character, and I never really read comic books or anything like that, so I have a passing interest in them just because of the films which come out these days, kind of, and I did watch a shed load of the cartoon, though, the Batman cartoon, which came out in the 90s, I believe.
I don't know how many.
Really high quality stuff. I remember when my mate had it on DVD at uni. I remember re-watching all of it, and it was actually really good. I was quite surprised. It's got really dark moments in there for like a kids' TV show. There's some really dark moments.
It's
like, bloody hell, how can they get away with
some
this?
Pretty serious stuff in there.
Yeah.
Hidden away.
Okay.
Uncharted 4.
God.
I don't.
Was there even a trailer? I seem to recall there wasn't really a trailer. They just pretty much went, Uncharted 4, it's a thing we're doing. As if anyone in the world was going, man, they finished off Uncharted 3. Probably won't be another game, though. They probably don't have it in them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Uncharted, they can just show, like, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark footage in the trailer. That's all the gameplay.
And then really lazily edit in Uncharted.
So nobody needs a trailer. Everyone knows what's coming.
Yeah,
so.
it's the standard chiseled face, 5 o'clock morning
Nathan
shadow,
Yeah.
Nathan Drake going around, climbing shit and shooting people.
And the more they try and develop a personality, the less I'm interested in.
And maybe this time he'll shoot some white people instead of every race on the planet. But
He shoots some white people, you know, the ones that he has stuff that he wants.
oh no, I think he shot an English guy. But then again,
But the English, man, they're the most evil of all the races.
well, you know, we English do make for very good bad guys in adventure films.
Yeah.
It's just the sinister accent and arrogant.
Monocles that we all wear. Yeah.
Well, the monocles and the full suits that we're currently wearing don't help, you know. I feel we should take off the pennycoats at the very least when we're abroad. Not at home.
Don't go for Ultraman! Next game. Infamous. Don't care. Don't care.
Yeah, it looks kind of fun.
The second game.
Wait, which is Infamous?
The one with the guy with fire, and the first one, the guy with the electricity, and the...
It's amazing how little that does for...
I know it,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you will have seen them before.
Yeah, it's
I've
the
never
superhero
played
one with the
myself.
neon and smoke powers and all that crap.
Like, it's alright, but it's nothing to write home about. And a new game, I don't know. They ended the series pretty hard at Infamous 2, and then now they're just kind of doing another thing in the same universe for Infamous, and then the next one is just another thing in the same universe, and whatever, make new IP, don't just keep making the same old one.
But money, Sam.
Yeah,
They really like money, like quite a lot. Like, you know, they just, it's money, so, you know, they're sort of...
I just don't think an existing IP really has that much strength in this day and age. Like, there's so many new things coming out. As long as you can make it look like it's really cool and dress it up right and have hype and the right concept, it doesn't matter what you call it.
The problem I have with sequels is they never do anything new with them. Like, I mean, did you see... it's not on here because... Oh, it's probably on the... Wait, is it on here? Yeah, it's there. Okay, sorry. We'll mention it now, though. Yeah, it's on the EA section. We'll get to that. But yeah, no. Mirror's Edge 2. Like, they showed the concept footage or whatever. It was just Mirror's Edge 1.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. They're like, oh yeah, we've got all these new moves and stuff. Where it's like, yeah, but I'm still blind. I mean, the problem with the first person's perspective in games, realistically, is the fact that you don't have any of the depth and the field of view as normal eyes do. So it's really constricting for spotting things. I mean, Mirror's Edge, I don't get why they don't put like the vision slider bar on, where you can get your vision to go. I can't remember what the hell it's called now, so this is going to be confusing. But the one which basically bends the vision on the screen, so it kind of gives you that slight look to the left and right with peripheral vision.
It's why they had to telegraph everything so much in the first game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Everything was basically looked like it was a beta test of a game because
Yeah,
it was
the
white,
red
except for the
thing.
things you had to go on, which were bright red.
Yeah.
It's like, over here!
It's like, I get you don't want to break flow, but that's some extreme lengths you have to go to.
Yeah.
Hopefully they won't have to do that in this game.
It kind of looks like it from the test footage they put up.
Yeah, but
Hopefully they'll actually colour some stuff in this time, apart from the objects you meant to free run off. But
it looks like a VR Metal Gear Solid mission, though. It's so far from being done.
yeah, but like, I don't know. It just, it's just, it's just.
So
I don't
last
know.
Sony game, let's do the last Sony and then we can move on to another category.
Yeah, go on then.
Bloodborne, another game by the people that make Dark Souls.
Hyped, even though I never played Dark Souls.
Yep. A lot of hype. We are going to have to do that. We'll do that at some point.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
talk about it later.
We'll do it. We'll do a Dark Souls thing.
But it looks very grim, very Dark Souls-y. It kind of looks like the first. What was the first game? Was the first game Demon Souls?
Demon Souls, yeah.
Yeah, it looks very much a lot more like that than the newer games. So, what could shoot next? EA?
Yeah.
EA was awful. Like, well, it was alright. They did a lot of sports. A lot of sports.
Sports!
Digital sports.
I didn't even bother depressing myself and lowering down to the level of actually watching EA do anything, because they're a depressing company at the best of times.
But
So
they're trying. Like, you could see how hard they're trying. But the more they try, I don't know. They don't have one amazing thing, but everyone else just comes off as an ass licker who just is spurting out, like the right catchphrases and maybe try to throw a bro or a lol joke in there, and it's like, God.
take a
just
selfie,
fuck off.
bastards. Yeah, no, they're awful. And I mean, watching E3 at the best of times is cringeworthy with the people and what they do on stage. Like 40-year-old men trying to be hip and cool, and you've really got to get in touch with the youth of today. So they do some really fucking stupid things. It's just like, mate, no one cares, realistically. Just walk on stage and go, look, we got a new thing, it's pretty cool, how about you play it?
Of everyone of all the conferences, who does the conferences, they're kind of the most for us, the PC gamers, which is a sorry state of affairs.
That's
Obviously,
depressing.
We get a lot of the games that are console exclusives for other things, but EA generally are someone who have every game, well, most
ported
games
to everything.
to PC. Yeah. Well, to
Oh,
everything.
hey, have you installed Origin yet?
No, God. I have, and I've deinstalled it, and I've reinstalled it again, and then quickly got rid of it again when I didn't need it. So anyway, EA. Battlefield Hardline, hashtag, lots of hashtags. Now,
Really?
Yep, they've had a big tournament, 32-player tournament of it on a rooftop in LA, because,
Why
no,
not?
handfuls of
Throw money at the marketing department until they make things good.
pretty much. I don't know, it looks cool, but, it's Battlefield 4, reskinned.
Yeah, well, it's not even
For a full
reskinned, is it?
price.
Really? They've just built a city map for Battlefield, and they've not even done that really.
There's a grappling hook now, but it stinks of, I don't know. It looks fun, but it should be released as DLC for Battlefield
I might
4,
play it, but at the end of the day, I already played Payday 2, and that was entertaining enough. I mean, I don't know. It just looks like they've just copied Payday and gone, oh, that's popular. I mean,
of
I'm
course
all
they have.
for it. Well, the problem I have is I like Payday because it's a co-op game, but it's co-op versus AI, which is cool. That isn't going to be fun because I just want to play those kinds of games. I want to play with mates, just a few mates,
Yeah.
and do a
Cops and
co-op
Robbers
type
game is
thing.
more suited to that as well.
Yeah.
This big 16 on 16, even 8 on 8. I think is just
Because
it's
you're
too
going
much
to
for
get
Cops and Robbers. It's just military.
You're going to get these idiots who just play the game. Boo! And we're back.
How do I do this?
I don't hold on the thing. I don't know.
Sorry, listeners. I'm unused to
Where were we? Oh yeah, Hardline.
Yep.
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to play it just because you're going to get that dick. You'll be the robbers, having a whale of a time. Oh, let's rob a bank.
Yep.
Great fun. You and your mates jump on your team speak and be like, oh, let's rob the bank. Get in the car, drive down the street. Oh, this will be fun. You all jump in the car, and then some knob from 16 blocks away with a sniper rifle who's played Battlefield way too much snipes all of you in the span of about 5 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want that. You just want to kind of relax with that kind of game and just have a little bit of a mess around. Like, I enjoyed Payday 2 for that reason. It was just me and a few mates jumped on TeamSpeak and were like, whoa, this is a bit of fun.
There's just so little creativity possible in a Battlefield game. Like Payday, you can be reasonably creative about it. Like
well, to be fair with this, it'll give more options than Payday will, because Payday's sort of linear in that fashion. It's just like, go down the street for this is the only option, and shoot the people in the face. But like, it looks like they've got helicopters and cars, but
like huge bristling vehicles with huge guns and rocket
yeah,
launchers.
it's a little
Cops
too
and robbers, guys.
cops and robbers in America.
Yep, in America, basically.
With explosions.
It's just like the FBI and the CIA declared war on each other, and the FBI decided to all wear robber uniforms for the lols.
That one time when they shut down New York and went, right lads.
Yep, field training exercise. Fuck that game. And it's 64-bit only, so I can't play it. I have the beta, I can't play it, so I hate it for that reason.
Well, I might have a look at it, but I very much doubt I'll play it just for the reason that I want a co-op game. I want more co-op games, not more multiplayer games. I enjoy playing my friends. I don't enjoy playing the 8-year-old dickhead who spent far too much time playing the game and wipes my arse.
Yeah. Another game, Battlefront. Did you ever play the old Battlefront games?
I've
didn't.
never
played them.
No.
Okay.
Well, I kind of did. I played them a few times, like round at friends' houses, but I never extensively played them.
What is that? Tell me what's the difference between Battlefront and Battlefield, for example? Like why they're both made by
Star Wars.
Battlefront is space.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Kind of.
I may have missed part of the EA conference.
A little bit, it would seem. No, it was just Star Wars with Battlefield kind of thing. It wasn't like the Battlefield engine or anything like that. This may be, though, to be fair, if it's by EA, I imagine
Why don't they call it Star Wars Battlefront?
They did.
And I would know immediately what it was, but everyone calls it Battlefront. And I'm like, what is Battlefront? Like
Apparently,
Battlefield?
my mates tell me this has been long awaited.
Yeah. There's been a lot of hype for the Star Wars game.
I probably will give it a shot again, though. Annoying playing with 8-year-old kids, but hey, I enjoyed playing the short period of time I played it round at friend's house. I kind of enjoyed it. Every so often I turned into Darth Vader and just walk around. I could run, but I mainly walked.
I've played that game where you pick a class at the beginning. And
There
you go. Okay.
It was kind of cool.
I thought it was just Alright.
Yeah, no, it was kind of cool like that. So
yeah, I played it on the PS2. That was a cool game.
Yeah,
cool co-op game.
So
Dragon Age.
None of the care. No. I'm sorry, but with The Witcher 3.
Yeah, the Dragon Age really is a poor man.
It just looks like it's going to get dicked on. I mean, it's probably going to have better writing.
Dragon Age?
Yeah.
Writing, really?
Probably slightly. Like Witcher 2 was always a bit clunky. Even Witcher 1, it was really clunky with the dialogue.
I always thought The Witcher 3 feels more like a fantasy book written by an adult, whereas Dragon Age feels like a fantasy book written, well, not by an adult, sorry, but for an adult, and one's like for a child. Like Dragon Age is everything ties together really perfectly. All the characters fit into their places and destiny
it does lick a bit of that. I mean, that's the problem I have with BioWare games. They're entertaining to play, but like Mass Effect and all that, it was good fun. But the problem is, I suffer major burnout on those games after playing them for a while. It's just like I can't be bothered with all your conversational bullshit.
Yeah.
I love the option, but not all the time. Most of Mass Effect, all I remember is just conversations.
Yeah,
a little bit of fighting and then spend 2 hours talking to people. It's like, I don't want this. I want to mainly shoot the bad guys.
Yeah, honestly, all the romance options in BioWare games are just a huge turn off for me.
Yeah, no, all that noise. It's just like, I'm here
customise your adventure by customizing your interactions with your friends. It's like, no, I just pick which ones I want to sleep with.
There are a bunch of noughts and ones. I don't give a fuck. It's like, you've got to make friends. I don't want to make super best friends with them unless it suddenly gives them a flaming fireball attack or something.
I probably will, knowing that kind of game.
Yeah, probably.
Incentivize that shit. Okay. So fuck Dragon Age. Sims 4, I think we can also say fuck.
To be fair, so far it's mostly been fuck all these games. Oh well. Moving on. Sims 4.
Continuing on with that theme. Sims 4 is the new version of The Sims. Don't know what that is. Then you probably aren't missing out. Moving on.
Yeah,
sports. Fucking sports.
Fucking
We're all
sport.
very hyped.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
As you can see,
Have you been watching the sports football on TV?
Yes, the World Cup sports football.
I
is
hope
on
our
right now.
sports team wins.
England are looking very on the ball this year, I would say.
As you can tell, we're not big sports fans here. Well, no. To be fair, I like sports. I play a lot of sports. Well, I used to play a lot of sports. Don't really do more that much anymore. But I don't like to play games about sports. I don't really like watching sports. I never got it really because it's like, why should I watch these people do it when I can go and do it?
I think I played actual soccer too, maybe like 10 times back in the day when I was about 14 on a Mac maybe, and then I was done with sports.
I can slightly get sports games. To me, sports games is just like, most people play games for some sort of like escapism and fantasy and all that, so that's fair enough. You play sports. All my sports teams winning, yay. But for me, I would personally play games to like master them. For me, it's a thing to be mastered. I don't see games, probably why I don't really play many of them anymore. I don't really see games as like worlds to be discovered and all that jazz. For me, I get in and it's like, right, give me the numbers, I'm going to hard crunch some units and make myself a fucking god at this.
I think we're both the kind of gamers where like we play games for the same reason people play sports.
Competition.
Sports games, the reason people play that is not the same the reason people play sports.
Exactly.
It's just a fun way to remind their friends.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to do with mates. It's escapism, it's all that jazz. So for us, it's kind of ironic considering, but for us it's not really the thing.
So we won't really talk about the sports games. Yeah, fighting games.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I've written Bruce Lee. I was vaguely shocked to see Bruce Lee in a fighting game just because...
It kind of entertained me watching the guys who clearly really didn't know Bruce Lee all that well on the Ultimate Fighting going, oh wow, he was really strong. Like, whoa, he had a hard... Ooh.
Yeah, like he would beat up everyone.
Oh yeah, no, he'd punch a guy in the face and that would hurt.
It's very against...
Lovely.
I feel it's kind of very against his character, and I think there may be some issues about respect for the dead, but someone owns the rights to him at the end of the day.
Bruce Lee is not, it's not his name, it's a fucking logo at best. Yep. It's not even a name with like a copyright symbol at the end, it is just a logo right now, which gets slapped on things.
Kind of sad, but
What the hell is Dawngate?
Dawngate, I've written League of Legends 2 there. It looks quite a lot like League of Legends.
Good, another MOBA, because we need so many more of those.
I'm going to say, like, as a Dota 2 player, I have literally no interest in these MOBAs now that are trying to come out. And, Dota appeals to a lot of people, but a lot of people can't hack the insane amount of learning and practice you need to play. So there's all these new drop-in MOBAs, and they're trash, in my opinion. Like, if you want to play that genre, the point of it is to spend hundreds of hours, and it's always a new situation to learn.
Destroy your soul.
That as well, it is slowly grinding your soul into a muddy paste to be excreted out at the end of the day. but I don't know. Dawngate,
I don't know, it's just another MOBA, there's loads of them about. The most interesting MOBA, well, it's not even a MOBA anymore, the most interesting, that's not even on here. This probably wasn't actually at the festival. I've completely blanked.
Oh, Heroes of the Storm.
No. I've completely blanked on what it's called, but luckily I have it in my Steam library amongst the hundreds of other games. God, I can't remember. No, it was Dungeon Defenders 2, which was going to be a MOBA at one point, and then I don't think they're making it a MOBA anymore, so it's sort of irrelevant. But I really like Dungeon Defenders. I actually
come out. Dungeon Defenders 2.
Did it? If it has, I missed that. I should probably look that up. I'll look that up.
Maybe it hasn't come out, but yeah, it is.
I don't think it
has.
has.
Hear anything about it.
Yeah, but I'm really hyped for that because I spent quite a lot of time playing Dungeon Defenders. Well, it was a good little tower defense game. It was just nice.
The end game stuff they introduced was really cool as well. Like
I only got a bit silly. I recently jumped on that. I said recently, several months ago, I jumped back on it for a bit with my mate, and it's gone through the roof ridiculous.
Yeah, like you need to be level 120 with the maxed out this this weapon leveled up to this level.
And everyone's like, oh, I do 1 billion DPS, and it's like, what? What's that? No, calm down. I just want to play the silly, fun, cartoony tower defense game.
Yeah, it did get very serious. I played through a little bit of that, but yeah, I was way behind the curve, so...
Yeah, it's the unfortunate thing. I jumped back on, I was just like, oh god, I can't be arsed learning all of this. But yeah, no, number 2 looks fun. So...
That's pretty much EA. There were a few other games, but I'd already covered them in the...
Yeah, Mirror's Edge 2, which we already discussed.
Should be mentioned, we're not doing these in the order that they happened, because, you know, we're hipsters.
Fuck order.
Yeah. So Microsoft, the one who actually showed first.
Oh yeah.
New Call of Duty. Have you seen the trailers for this?
Yeah, it's Kevin Spacey.
It's Kevin Spacey, you know.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. There's the feelings on it. Ah, is that Kevin Spacey? Yeah, it's Kevin Spacey, yeah. Considering
it's Call of Duty and, like...
It's just Call of Duty with Kevin Spacey. I don't get it. Everyone's like, oh my god, this is a new thing. It's like, no, there's nothing. You've just put Kevin Spacey in Call of Duty. That's it. This will not change the over-the-top, ridiculous action and storyline. It'll just now feature Kevin Spacey as the bad guy.
It'll probably be crap, but it looks more interesting, I've got to say, than any COD I've seen in a while. Like, maybe it'll be awful, but it looks interesting.
I mean, I might play. I played Call of Duty 1, really liked that game, played the multiplayer quite a lot. Then I got Call of Duty 2, it was fucking awful, and no fun to play, really. The multiplayer especially just suffered a lot from levelling systems. It's like, oh yeah, just got one-shotted by a guy who's dual-wielding 2 shotguns because he's level 40. Good, yeah, no, I'm meant to do a lot about that, aren't I?
I thought those games.
It was just I was still good at the online, but it was just boring to play. Because once I got to that level, it was just like, okay, now I am going to duel with the shotguns, and there was just an auto win button. It's just like, why do I want to keep playing this? It's not that I'm better than them. I just have better guns. I mean, some of the maps weren't really suited to it, and everyone, because I remember me saying, yeah, but if you get the shotguns, not all the maps are suited to it, because you'll get in a long range engagement, you see, and then you'll be fucked. It's like, no, because every single map had some sort of a close-range encounter section of the map, which spanned the entire map, like, as a corridor. So there was always a point that you could just sprint around that little area and kill everyone there. And then people would start coming back to the area because you were killing everyone in that area, and then all the kills would be walking to you.
This is getting too much history of FPS gaming.
Yeah, no, I'm sort of ranting a bit about Call of Duty here, but oh well, Call of Duty, yeah, that's the thing, shooty bang.
Yep.
Explosions.
Pretty much. Forza. Racing games.
The thing that annoys me about racing games right now is I used to like the racing games. Like one of my favourite racing games ever was Need for Speed Underground 2, where I let you customise your car and you raced around on the streets. Ooh, street racing. I know that's not really as popular anymore, but
it's not reasonable.
Every single racing game coming out right now is just the exact same game. It's all just let's race around the track and have really good HD graphics of cars. And it's like, yeah, but we've done that. Forza 4 had the exact... What are you doing exactly except for upgrading the graphics? And the answer is bugger all.
It does kind of feel like a car jerk-off session.
Yeah, I'm much more interested in, like, the other races which are coming out, like the... I can't remember what the one's called, where they've, like, mapped...
The Crew.
A mini... It could be The Crew, where they mapped to Mini America.
I believe I have notes on it. I'm sure it's called The Crew. Yeah, The Crew. It's called The Crew. Driving sim. It's a huge real map. Like you can drive from Miami to Las Vegas in 2 hours, or Miami to somewhere in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And that seems much more interesting to me. Oh yeah.
It's an interesting concept.
That's much more interesting than Forza, which is just another racing sim. It's like, we've had loads of racing sims now, you're not really doing much with them, lads. You need to sort of think about it. Yeah. We had Gran Turismo 2 way back in the day, which had hundreds of cars, loads of tracks, and it had Formula 1 cars and stuff. It's like,
I remember we've already going crazy about the graphics
in
that game as well.
And we've already trodden this path several hundred times. We don't need another Forza like they're doing.
Let's talk about something more interesting. Evolve. Have you seen Evolve?
Yes, I have, and it looks great, to be honest. It's a game I would nearly play if it didn't look like effort.
I'm kind of hyped like a little girl about this game.
Oh.
It just looks so much fun. Like, they've only revealed 2 monsters now, and a lot of how good the game's going to be.
Oh, there's more than one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm guessing you choose a type of monster, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like they showed a Kraken, this E3, like obviously they did Goliath last time, but the Kraken can fly, it can...
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what that was. Oh, okay.
So like, the game, well, for those who don't know, it's like a 4v1 game, 4 humans versus a monster. The monster has to kind of evade the humans to start with and evolve to get ahead of the strength of the people, and then pick off / annihilate the human team. And
it looks like good fun. I mean, to be fair, it's the kind of thing I'd only really want to play with mates again, but there we go. You just got to try and get 5 mates together.
If you play as the one, though, if you play as the monster, I really wouldn't care about playing with my mates.
Oh yeah, true. If you play as the monster, you just want to dick on a load of people.
But I don't know how the queue system will work. I'm guessing it won't let you just pick human or monster and queue, because the monster queue would be like 300 hours. Yeah.
There'd be 2 guys in the human queue.
Yeah. Although the humans do look kind of fun. There's plenty of classes for those guys.
Well, yeah, it looked like they've done the classes well and all that jazz. It looks like a well-balanced game, so...
Well, medics are really imbalanced at the minute, but it'll all get more balanced, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll sort it out. It just looks like a fun game, to be fair. Just a mess around with mates. I mean, you'd love to just get 3 mates together, hop on with them, and then fight some dick who's a monster.
And I'd love to see how that game gets modded, because I love Left 4 Dead, and a lot of people are comparing this to Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead sure may have been...
I never got why
I was into Left 4 Dead.
No, why people were comparing, yeah.
I guess it's just... It's like...
It's just a 4-person co-op, that's literally the only reason. There is no other... It's kind of a first-person shooter, and it's 4-player co-op.
I guess the
Except it's technically
is very
4 versus 1, which makes it not like it. I mean... I kind of get why. It's because there's loads of creeps around the place, or little AI things that the monster can eat and stuff, and they attack. You have to attack them as the humans to make sure the monster can't eat them and evolve and stuff. And obviously, in the versus mode of Left 4 Dead, you had obviously a load of zombies, and then the specials, which you played as in the versus mode. So that's why people are comparing it. But to be honest, I think it's not going to play anywhere near like Left 4 Dead or anything.
Gameplay style wise, it won't be that simple.
Yeah, so...
Maybe like Tank versus the 4 survivors when you play as a tank. It could be a little bit like it, but... It seems like that idea of fighting a tank, but taken to a whole new level.
So basically what you're saying is, if Left 4 Dead 3 releases and they just have a mode where there's a tank that can evolve by absorbing other zombies or something, then they'll essentially steal all of Evolve's player base.
Should be writing this in a suggestion to...
Email Valve, quick! Hit the Game URL button!
Got a direct line through to him.
Yeah, it's the little red phone in the corner, which is made of money.
So, I have Dragon Age written down here again, we're not going to talk about it again.
Witcher for babies. For babbies! Witcher for babbies! That pretty much sums it up, to be honest. It just looks like a shit Witcher.
Sunset Overdrive, have you seen this game?
Yeah, kind of. I've seen a few trailers.
Like Jet Set Radio, if you've ever seen Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, I heard someone talking about it, and they said, oh yeah, it's like Jet Set Radio, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
It's like nonsense storyline. Human race is destroyed, like very arcadey fun, on rails, like you can, well it's not on rails, but there's lots of like rail segments where you can, grind on this with your boots and jump from that, and
that'll probably be really shakily implemented where you just jump on and you slide down the rail.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like there's any momentum or anything like that yet.
Well, that's crap.
It looks kind of like fun, but I get the feeling it's not going to be that. It's not going to be replayable, and it probably will get old before you finish playing the game.
It might be fun just to dick around with mates on, but to be fair, those games usually have much longer much more replayability rather. Because generally when you play those kind of games, it's not how fun the game is; it's how fun your mates are as well as. So the game could have a lot of that. I don't know whether there is any kind of co-op in there.
Oh really? As far as I'm aware, there isn't, but there could be. It's very much like Dead Rising kind of esque though. But
I'm pretty sure they said there's going to be co-op.
Oh, maybe there will be co-op. I don't know whether there were no other characters introduced but one. That's the only reason I think it's not co-op.
Well, if it isn't, they're not getting on the money train.
Nope.
It's already left the station, unfortunately.
So,
Fable Legends. Fable has been historically a terrible game.
I kind of enjoyed the first one. I was pretty young when I played it. The other ones kind of... I played through them, but they didn't really engage me that much. This one's got a cool idea. It's got the whole Dungeon Master-esque thing of you can have 5 players. One can play as the villain, and 4 people can play as co-op through the game. And like as the villain...
Does the villain do some sort of mutations into a more badass villain?
Yeah.
Some would say he's Evolving.
Someone said though, I think there's another game that has a 4v1 gameplay kind of mechanic thing, but I can't remember what it is. But no, it's like as the villain, you have some kind of like RTS looking screen. Like you play a completely different style of game to the one.
Oh right.
It's like top down, and you can deal the players and place traps, and it looks interesting.
Oh, so that's basically what they've done is just
like that indie game. What was it called? There was an indie game where you had the dungeon master and other people.
Well, basically what they've made is D&D.
Yeah,
It's made D&D.
Yeah, it is kind of like D&D, but
they've just it is. It is a 4-player co-op, and one plays as the villain, and he controls traps and stuff like that. Yeah, they've just made D&D.
Yeah, it is a bit D&D in a Fable world. Like, obviously, it's not going to.
Which might as well just be D&D, so they're interchangeable. It's just in the past when everyone talked with an English, Welsh, or Scottish accent.
Yeah, I guess so.
As all old games are, or sorry, ye old games.
So Dance Central. I'm not interested in Dance Central.
That's a thing that some people may buy and then
maybe they won't even regret it. Who knows?
they'll probably stuff it in their cupboard and not play it until Christmas. When everyone comes round and they go, "Oh, we've got Dance Revolution or Central, whatever it's called." That's fine.
So indie games. There are a few indie games. I wrote down Ori and the Blind Forest. That one looked cool. Hard to explain. Like a kind of a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like moody kind of indie game where everything's deep and soft music and you're uncovering a mystery. You know the kind of game.
Yeah, pretty much most indie games.
It looks cool, like they all do. Halo 5. Halo 5.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So it looks. They, to be honest, they showed nothing about Halo 5. It was
No,
all
they
about the Halo collection.
Which is...
Remastered
it's
Halo
a thing.
games.
Oh, good, I get to play Halo 2 again on Legendary. Woo. Don't care.
If you're like a collector and you want them all on
If
one
you're
system...
really sad and
yeah.
you think the Master Chief is actually cool.
I was going to try and give you the benefit of the doubt, listeners, but yeah, you're really sad if you want
Yeah, no, you're all sad pricks.
Oh, no, not all of you. We love most of you. Just the Halo collection.
I like Alan, but the rest of them can go suck a dick.
We love you all. Witcher 3? Yes.
Woo! It's just written yes, 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 yes. Oil up my thighs, grease up my loins, for I'm ready to have a go on that one.
I was going to write more detailed notes for that game, but I was too busy.
You're too busy masturbating over the footage, just
I couldn't
rigorously.
use my left hand, and I had to use my right hand. But no, it looks good, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
the combat looks...
It
the
looks-
Witcher 2 combat, to be honest, was pretty annoying. After a
Yeah,
while.
no, I actually tried to play The Witcher 2 like last week, and I just can't. It's awful.
Yeah, there were a lot of problems with
Well,
it.
it's not awful, but it's just not what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And it's not as fun as I thought it would be, and way too linear.
They've made some pretty big changes to the Witcher 3 combat-wise. I don't know about linearity. It's hard to really see that without actually, getting a full copy of the
Yeah,
game.
well, I mean, they've done it open world this time.
Well,
So,
yeah.
well, you can just go anywhere
If
and
it is
stuff
fully
will
open
happen.
world, like it seems like they've taken on the two big criticisms of The Witcher 2 and then just made everything else, they've kept everything else just as good. So on paper, this game looks fucking great.
Yeah.
So,
Whether it will be, we'll wait and see. But at the very least, it'll be the goddamn prettiest thing. It kind of looks like how I wish Skyrim was. I like
that
Skyrim
engine.
a lot, but Skyrim suffered a lot from a world which seemed a lot bigger than it actually was. Like, once you actually got into the world, you went, oh wow, there's a huge city, oh this will be cool. And you got in and were like, there's only like 20 houses.
Yeah,
There's like 5 people living here.
like 14 of them are the same in every city, basically. The same shop.
Yeah,
for the NPCs,
exactly.
There's
It's-
a few different things.
It was all a little bit too small for my liking. Everything just seemed epic from far away, and then you got closer and realised, oh, this is a lot smaller than I expected, actually. It's still a very good game, but I was kind of hoping for more, and Witcher 3 does look to be that more.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Although I did laugh when I watched the guy doing the gameplay, and he was tracking the griffin.
Yeah,
I've seen that one.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you notice as well, when they were tracking the griffin, like, oh no, the griffin's getting away, and it was flying in a straight line, and they were following it. They went, don't panic, we can track his blood trail. So he turned on the blood trail vision, and then suddenly winged left pretty much immediately, and kept going left. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure he just flew straight, and he was really far ahead. Like, he was really far ahead. It wasn't like he was turning. He was
Yeah.
flying straight about 200, 300 metres ahead of you.
That's
Why are you
probably-
turning left?
I think it's that was a scripted event.
Yeah, of course it was.
But if it was
that was kind of the point where I realised it was a really scripted event. I was like, no, you've added those blood stains. That's clearly not in the game yet in your build. It probably is.
Still put it in the game. You let them have.
Yeah, it's just. I'm pretty sure anyway. I remember going, wait, what?
Then we can go mad at them and say that.
Either way, it's still going to be awesome. It's still one of the games that I probably won't ever have the time to really play it, but I still want to get it just so I can look at it and be like, oh, that's nice.
So Scalebound.
I don't know this. What's this?
This was just a CG trailer. It looks like a guy who rides a dragon. He can make armor appear. It looks like a brawler, like a 1v1 brawler, but you're both on dragons and you can jump off your dragon and punch the person. It kind of reminds me of, what was that game they had on PS3? It was like 6-axis controlled. Lair?
Oh, yeah, Lair. That was awful.
It kind of looks a bit like that, but it's CGI. It's CG cutscene.
Yeah, until we actually see something, it's like, what you have done is announced a nice idea. With a CG trailer. That's lovely, but that is still pretty much... You might as well have just shown up a bit of paper that the initial idea was written on for all it's worth. Until we see gameplay, it's like, whatever, mate.
New Crackdown game. I only ever played the demo of the first one. It's alright. It's just a shooty, multiplayer game.
Yeah, it did seem like a cool concept, but...
It's urban-y, isn't it? I think it's urban-y.
Yeah, it's kind of like GTA, except with superpowers.
Yeah.
And the problem I faced with Crackdown, because my mate had it and he was like, oh, you should really play Crackdown, it looks awesome. I played it and I thought, this is just like playing GTA with the cheats on immediately, which is not fun. GTA gets boring with the cheats on. It's why I never got the appeal of Saints Row 3 when everyone's like, oh, now you the superpowers and stuff. It's like, yeah, but that's just like having the cheats on in GTA, which is fun, but it gets old very quickly. You always used to turn the cheats on after you'd done everything on GTA. Yeah, then you'd have silly fun for about 2 days, and then you get bored.
I always used to get bored of GTA. After the first few, after 3 probably, but they couldn't hold my interest. I would just put the cheats on and go and use it as a fun sandbox as opposed to playing the actual game.
Yeah, but that always got a bit bored, so the Crackdown never grabbed me because of that. But I mean, it could be fun.
It could be.
I've never played it, so I never know.
So Tomb Raider?
Probably know now. Oh, good. Yeah,
There's 2 Tomb Raider games coming out. They're making a sequel to an old game. And they're also making a sequel to, the rebooted franchise.
Okay.
The rebooted franchise, it's an alright game, but I'm bored of Lara Croft. I would really rather just see a new...
I really liked the old the first, Tomb Raider 1, 2 and 3 I remember I had for the PlayStation. And they were good fun. I don't like this rebooted version.
I used to hate the combat, the gunplay in those games.
Well, let's not lie. Essentially what that game is... Originally, Naughty Dog looked at Tomb Raider and thought, that looks pretty cool, but we could probably do that better if we had some rock climbing in there. And then they made Uncharted. And, yeah, now Tomb Raider guys have looked over and gone, well, Uncharted is just like sucking up all the money on Earth. So how about we just do that, except print Tomb Raider on the front?
Yeah.
It's, less of the climbing, but it's a third person kind of stealthy action. You crouch behind chest-high walls and shoot people with various way of weapons. It's not as silly as the other games, or adventurous with the jumpy aroundy and stuff. So
yeah, it does take itself pretty seriously than your Tomb Raider games.
Yeah, which is not really what I want from a Tomb Raider game. But
they're trying to take it away from being that. The idea of Tomb Raider used to be like a masculine, power fantasy, huge boobed character with guns, says stupid lines and wears a short skirt and shoots bad guys. They're trying to get away from that and give us some depth, which I can understand the need to do that, but whatever. Not interested in your private battle against sexism. Next conference. So Ubisoft.
Ubi!
They had some cool games to show us and some not so cool games.
Far Cry 4, don't care. I don't get the hype around it either.
They're good at making pretty compelling bad guys. Like the new cutscene they showed, he's an intriguing bad guy. Like your relationship with him is very confusing. He just
seems like a mentalist, but that was the last guy as well.
Vass, yeah.
Yeah, it was
this guy's on your side. Vass wanted to kill you. This guy's like, come with me. We're gonna tear shit up together and stuff like that. So.
That's a bit weird. I don't know. I thought that was just I don't know. I just with that series, Far Cry 3 was fun, but I never completed it because I got bored.
Yeah.
I got bored of the open world because once the problem with it is you've got guns and there's stuff to shoot, but that's all there is. Like everything is a means to an end. You explore stuff to go shoot some more stuff, but then the exploring gets annoying because I just want to go and shoot stuff. But I always have to go and explore and unlock the bloody map area by climbing the fucking tower.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't want to do it. I just want to shoot stuff now because I just want to get through the game. This is all just a chore for me now. I just want to see the plot line. I don't want any of this extra stuff because
that's the problem.
After you've done it like 10 times, it's really boring.
It's the problem with open world in general. Though there's a formula for it, just as there is any other kind of genre, and you've got to have those kind of outposty things. You know, Assassin's Creed, I think, set the way.
Yeah.
I'm sure games did it before Assassin's Creed, but I don't know. Like I really enjoyed Far Cry 1, the first game. Like the plot was barely existent. The monsters looked a little bit clunky, but it was a thrilling game. It was a gorgeous looking game.
Oh yeah, it was the first game to really come out with the next gen of graphics on. It was DirectX 9, I believe.
The whole game was just basically a tech demo, but I had so much fun with that game on the PC.
Yeah, I preferred the whole jungle setting though, to be honest. Like the jungle always with the oceans and all pretty.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, it'll be
Far
fun.
Cry 4.
Yeah, I'll probably play it. It'll be fun, but
like more elephants. That sounds pretty cool. I still remember the first Dynasty Warriors where they gave you war elephants to ride around.
They do on the latest one.
Oh yeah, they
never used them because I bought a giant flaming horse with a little man stuck on the back and played with that instead because it was really fast. And now I'm sidelining.
But I do like. Anyway, yeah, we are sidelining. So I'm not going to talk about Just Dance.
Just Dance.
The Division. Have you seen anything about The Division?
This is the game that I am the most hyped for.
It does look good. Look good.
Well, the scripted gameplay stuff looks terrible, and the people are clearly awful.
Well, it looks a little bit The Last of Us-esque, you know. We can say it. I'm sure everyone else is.
Yeah, well, it's just, look,
Last of Us is a good
apocalyptic
game.
future with viruses and shit, and it's just like, oh yeah, joy.
It's a good setting. It has been done to death, but they can still make a good game out of this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it looks gorgeous. It looks kind of cool to play, and you can play it with mates, and that.
You can play on your tablet. #hype.
Oh my god! And
anyway.
yeah, no, it just looks like a fun game in general to play with mates. It's that kind of. It's the annoying thing of there are not enough first-person shooter MMO types which go on different sort of trends. Whereas this, you get a first-person shooter MMO, and it's just generally all the same thing. I can't think of anything now. Well, most of my arena shooters. Oh, look at cat.
When it came down.
You've got PlanetSide 2, which is obviously doing its own thing, but since they just copied Battlefield and made it bigger, in actuality this time it was boring for me. But this looks entertaining. I mean, you've got the city, it looks gorgeous, you can play with mates. They've got all the little high-tech gadgets you can mess around with. I think you can fight other people, and that's kind of the point. I'm not quite sure.
There is a PvP area. There's a hub area, but most of it's like phasing. That seems to be what they're kind of trying to do with these Borderlands-esque games. Like, you can have a single-player game experience where you see practically no one. The only place you'll see other players is in the city hub. You see them all running around, and obviously in the PvP zone, which will presumably be like some kind of warfronty thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an MMO kind of setup, the way they do the phased instances like that. Well, a more extreme version. But yeah, it looks interesting. It looks kind of like Destiny in the way that it plays, apart from obviously the story.
Apart from everything.
Yeah, but in terms of gameplay wise, obviously one's like fucking space aliens and the other one's an Earth with just humans that are trying to kill other humans and stuff.
I mean, well, either way, it's the thing I'm most hyped for because it just looks good. I mean, it just looks like it'd be fun with friends, really, because that's most of the games I play these days. It's just I want to have fun with mates. I don't really. The game is less of a thing. It's just a means to an end to have some fun with mates who I can't necessarily go and see too easily. And this just looks like it will be a good game to play with friends and dick around in. Play with friends.
That's what games are for, that.
I'm trying to bring humanity closer together through games by playing with friends.
That's one way of doing it. For the crew, we talked about that. Looks alright. It's a driving game, but they've tried to go for a bit of a different concept by making a version of America. I don't know. It's not the whole world, is it? It's just America.
It's just America.
I personally don't understand the appeal, but I don't like driving games, so.
Well, I really like driving games. Well, I used to as a kid. I still kind of do, but I just don't play them as much anymore. I still play Grid quite a bit. But the problem I have with this is it looks like a great game, and I would be hyped. The problem is you kind of need friends who play racing games. The problem with racing games is they're not really that popular.
Yeah, that's very true.
So trying to find mates who actually play this game is going to be a ruddy nightmare. So I can't imagine.
With you for 2 hours.
Yeah, kind of getting schedules together and all that. Fuck being old, it's a pain in the ass. Like with work and that, and everyone's schedules clashing. Trying to get all your mates together at once to play this racing game, and actual find mates who like racing games will be a right hassle.
Well,
which is annoying because if I did, I would probably be playing it. Yeah. But unfortunately, probably can't. Probably won't.
Assassin's Creed Unity. More 4-player co-op stuff. Obviously, it's just Assassin's Creed, but this time you can 4-player co-op.
Yeah, and that seems to be the thing with Assassin's Creed. It's just they release Assassin's Creed 1 again, and they just plug something into the side of it every single time with Assassin's Creed. And this time, it's like change it. They've got 2 plugs on the side that they replace. One is for the location, the other one is for the latest gameplay mechanic to switch out. So, really now you're a pirate.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is how they go through their concept meetings. Like
yeah, pretty much all you need is 2 ideas to make a new Assassin's Creed game. Yep. It's just a location and a thing to sell the game on as different from every other Assassin's Creed. Even though the core concept is you parkour and assassinations, which has not changed. They've just added kind of to it, but they've taken away every time they've added. Yeah. There are no more pirates, which is kind of annoying, because that was the only thing I really cared about with whatever the number 18.
Number 4, yeah, Black Flag.
The pirate one, yeah, Black Flag. Yeah. The only one everyone should care about.
It was fun. But yeah, it fantasy series, more of the same, blah blah blah. Moving on.
No camera talk, what does that mean?
What does that mean? No camera talk.
Don't ask me. You were the one who wrote it.
Camera talk. I have no idea. We'll come back to it if I remember.
Shitty war game, you a dog.
Shitty war game, you a dog.
So it tells me your concentration was lapsing while writing this towards the end.
I remember this. I can't remember what it was called. I think they might have even shown a name, but it was like it looked very David Cage-esque. It was like a war game, but I think you played as like a dog that delivered the letters and poems of like dead soldiers to people or something like that.
What?
Yeah, that was what I grasped from it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I didn't see this, and I'm utterly confused. But that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's intriguing.
Game of the show.
So Rainbow Six. This game, I'm actually pretty hyped for.
Really?
It's like I
wouldn't have cornered you as a Rainbow Six man or Rainbow Six.
I'm really not is the thing, but this game is it's like 5v5, very Counter-Strike-esque, but very very. It looks like there's a lot of nuance in it. Like say they showed a 5v5 where you had to rescue a hostage from a building. There were like 4 different entry points you could pick, but the entry points weren't really entry points. It'd be like you go on the roof, and then you could choose to grapple down and go through any of the windows. You could just jump off and go through the ground floor if you want, or split up, and you could completely shoot through walls, barricade up doors, send drones forward, and the terrorists could do all sorts of stuff as well. It looked like a really cool, a really cool 5v5. I don't know, kind of Counter-Strike-esque game, really.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean,
they only showed one game mode that I've seen so far, but it
looked 5v5.
Yeah, but I mean, they could. I don't know whether they do bomb defusal and stuff like that as well. There was just the hostage rescuing one.
I mean, the Rainbow Six series is always the Rainbow Six series. Actually, I think that is what it's called, Rainbow Six, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, they're probably
not
on
the
more
sixth
than
one.
6
Yeah, no, way more than 6. But anyway, yeah, Rainbow Six has always been kind of fun for that sort of nerdy prep stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of really anal gameplay where you don't want to just run around and headshot. You want to get a bit nerdy and go, I'm going to use the camera under the door for this one.
The kind of games that ensure they have the word tactical somewhere on the front cover. Not as far as MGS with tactical espionage action. Tactical at least.
It's got the whole 9 yards there.
So we might as well talk about Nintendo, even though these are the guys who are the least likely to give us their games, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, like this. Well, think about it. Like all the games on this list, some of them might come out. Like Hyrule Warriors, it's a game you might care about because it's Dynasty Warriors meets Zelda. Everyone likes Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, good. Yeah, I only need one. I've got Dynasty Warriors now. That's me for life. I never owned one in the past. I now own one. I have played it all the way through, kind of nearly. Got bored and stopped playing it there.
Fair enough.
But that's that now. If I ever want my Dynasty Warriors fill, I have Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. And maybe one day, they'll bother to release co-op for it on PC.
It's a big fan service game. They need to release a Zelda game, but they can't bother to think up like a plot and all that kind of stuff.
So they'll just do the usual thing of like what the Gundam series did was just slap it over Dynasty Warriors and go, there you go.
They've run out of contrivances for the female character to get kidnapped and oppressed, and the male to liberate her. And nerd fantasy.
My Sam.
Continue.
Are you saying there are some slight undertones in the story of Zelda?
Maybe just a little. Okay.
Just a little.
Other games. Okay, the game I saw on Nintendo that was probably like the best was Splatoon. I'll try and explain this. It's like a I think it was a 4v4, maybe 5v5, and you squirt, like each team is a different colour. Say one's red, one's blue, and if you shoot the red stuff, it becomes your territory, and anything you paint red, you can turn like into a squid and dive into the water and move into that colour and move through it really fast and like hop out and jump onto other colours. You can't jump onto the enemy's colour, and you kill them by spraying them with your shit. I don't know whether I think they had health. I didn't really see that much of the actual tournament. They did a little tournament, but basically it's all about controlling the territory and making your own space and jumping around.
So what you're saying is, you get to play as literally a phallic object.
Well, you're a person
who has to go spraying its spooge all over the place.
Yeah.
And then eventually spooge
gun,
on another.
Because you're a human, and then you turn into a squid when you glide through the colour.
Right. No, that makes everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gay at all anymore.
It's not some weird sexual thing.
No, it's fine. Just spray each other
another normal
with
Japanese
your super
thing.
soakers.
Just another normal Japanese thing. Stop being so uncultural.
Okay, I'll call it bukkake. That'll make it better.
It does look fun though.
Forget Splatoon, it's bukkake from now on.
The sexual undertones for some of our more sex-obsessed hosts. Next game, Bayonetta 2. Don't care, but a lot of people like Bayonetta.
I played Bayonetta for a bit in a mate's house, and that was good fun. I enjoyed it. I kind of like those Devil May Cry-ish, Bayonetta-ish, silly, over-the-top action games. Where you do a million combos and get silly. I kind of like that. I mean, that's what I'm hoping the MMOs will do eventually, is turn into something like Devil May Cry, where you get like full lucid kind of movement and combat and stuff, which would be cool, but unfortunately that's probably a little bit into the future. They're getting there, so that's fine. But yeah, no, I like it. It's good fun.
Fair enough.
So that'll probably be cool. I mean, the guys there who, I can't remember what the studio's called, but the guys who make Bayonetta are really good at what they do. They made the Metal Gear game as well, the one with Raiden.
Oh yeah, the Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, they made that, and that was apparently very good. Revengeance.
I think it was called Revengeance, wasn't it?
Yeah, something really fucking stupid.
Whatever.
Persona 5! My god, they're actually releasing a new one.
Yeah. I'm going to say, Persona's a series. I think I played the second one a bit.
Suddenly
no
cat.
more than that.
What's the matter? What's the matter? Oh dear. Come here. Okay, so, Persona. Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry, I got distracted by cat.
I noticed.
Hello, cat.
I know very little about Persona. Apart from it's a game that people play.
Well, apparently it's very, very good with its plot. Which kind of
JRPG,
nearly intrigues me to play it. Yeah, it's a JRPG. Everyone goes on about the plot and how good it is and how the characters are, how good the characterization is, rather. So, it seems okay. I've never played Persona.
Yeah,
probably will not play Persona 5. In fact, I'm going to call it now that I will never play Persona 5.
Yeah. There was a lot of positive feedback towards it at the event and from Nintendo TV as well. Xenoblade Chronicles, that's a JRPG I have played one of. I think I played Xenosaga 2.
I know of the Xeno thingy series, but I've never played them.
I didn't finish the whole game, but the only reason I didn't finish it is because I lost the second disc. So I completed the first disc, and I was really annoyed at the time, but I didn't have the money to buy another one. I've never gone back to it, but I'm intrigued. I might go back to that game series. New Super Smash Brothers, obviously.
Oh, good.
There's someone called, what's she called? Palutena.
Yeah.
She's the invoker, for the benefit of anyone that plays Dota, of this game. She had what seemed like 15 or 16 different moves, and I kind of thought people on Super Smash Bros. Had about 5 moves, but fair enough.
Whatever. That'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was E3.
Yeah, that's all.
2014.
Well, we can look through. We have a list of other games coming out on the PC. Are there any of them not been cut?
Well, let's just go through them now.
I mean,
I'm just gonna. I feel like we should have that music on while it's scrolling down. Do 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 do
Valkyrie.
do 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 do. That's the.
We need to talk about them, not sing.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna sing for 5 minutes while it's scrolling. Not that they can see this list scrolling, so it's just me just humming.
So you're just entertaining yourself. Hotline Miami 2. Oh, I forgot to talk about that game. Have you played Hotline Miami 1?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Hotline Miami 2 is more of the same. Another Devolver game. Devolver are on a fucking roll at the minute. They are churning out games. Every system is getting them, like they're going on the next-gen consoles.
Good God, they are churning out games, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think like 5 or 6 of those games were all announced one after the other for the PS4 conference. They did like... It was either Sony or Microsoft. They did like a 10-minute presentation just on Devolver Digital. Well played to them.
Yeah, the Eve Valkyrie thing, just to jump back to that square, that's their, essentially, No Man's Sky. It's the shooter one where you actually fly in first person in a ship and go shooty bang.
Is that the one is it linked to the Eve universe, or is that something else?
No, they're both are. There's a first person shooter they released which is also linked, but I think they are all linked.
Interesting. Dawngate.
I like the fact that Mirror's Edge 2 is just called Mirror's Edge on this list.
Yeah.
Lazy. Titanfall DLC. That'll be kind of cool if it wasn't for the fact Titanfall got boring really quickly. Well, not boring. I don't know. Something weird.
H1Z1.
Oh,
game
good. That looks...
might be a good...
I could go on like a 1,000,000-hour rant about that. It's just... Oh,
it's
Sony, stop being awful.
Yeah, it
you
is
ruined
scummy.
PlanetSide. Now you're going to ruin DayZ, probably. It's like, oh yeah, there'll be... Well, the only good thing that Sony are really doing is the fact that their free-to-play stuff is actually properly free-to-play.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have...
They don't gate gameplay content.
Yeah, they don't gate gameplay content really all that much. And it's not as bad as some other companies. It's still pretty annoying, but...
It's not
free-to-play always is. I mean, I hope free-to-play dies a terrible death eventually, but, until then.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, well H1Z1, most people know what that is now. It's just
fucking DayZ. They've just copied DayZ and they've gone, yeah, we can do it better.
But
they're just trying to earn money.
Did you hear about that? They're rebuilding the engine of DayZ because they're not going to be able to ever make the game run as they want it to run on the current engine. So they're building 2 other engines into it. They're like combining it with something so they can do underground and caves.
What?
But they say it's not going to be a huge thing because they're not remaking the engine. They're just adding loads of things into the engine.
No, that's the one thing that DayZ definitely needed was more shit in the engine because it ran so smoothly and perfectly beforehand.
They say that the reason they're doing it is because it can never run well as it is. So I presume
Well, hopefully they're just doing a shed load of streamlining with the crap they don't need because that game is very...
That's the thing, Armour
the
has
armor
so
engine.
much in.
Yeah.
It's not the engine for that kind of game.
The armor engine isn't good for that kind of game. The armor engine in general is just ridiculous in some fashions.
I think that's a lot of the reason why Rocket is leaving, because as they transition away from that standard engine, Rocket doesn't really know much about other engines, and he's delivered all his concepts, all his ideas, his ethic, his ethos, everything is in the game. All the developers know of it, so he doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
If anyone's still mad about Rocket leaving, I don't think they should be.
But just about jump back on H1Z1 again, it's basically because PlanetSide 2 is failing awfully, so they're just releasing another game. Because PlanetSide 2 is awful.
I find it weird the lack of hype about H1Z1, to be honest.
Why?
Considering it's Sony Online, they're just not really...
Well, Sony Online do have a history of screwing up everything. So, Sony Online Entertainment now actually kind of technically a separate division from...
Yeah, the main Sony.
Yeah, well, no, I mean the gaming side of Sony. The console side.
Okay.
They're 2 separate departments, so they won't actually go on stage with each other at shows and press conferences and stuff. So they would never actually go on the E3 Sony show.
I'm saying there was nothing about H1Z1 in the Sony show. Yeah. What other game?
Fireside 2's coming to PS4 as well, so that's the thing.
Dead Island 2. I don't know how I missed that. That was in multiple conferences. Dead Island 2. Those CG trailers looks funny. obviously it's a Dead Island game. It's not going to take itself very seriously, which is good because.
And it will also be awful.
Maybe it'll be awful. What's this?
I'm just looking at the Eternal Crusade, which is a game I'm kind of interested about, but there's nothing about it really.
Yeah, but it's coming.
Warhammer 40k. It'll be probably mildly amusing just to hear guys shout "Space Marine."
But yeah.
I just love the way they talk. I don't really care about the game. I just want to run through the world and hear everyone talk to me in hilarious accents. Inquisitor!
I played a little bit of Firebug. It's the only Warhammer 40k game I've ever played.
No. I've played quite a few.
The Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. I should have watched the gameplay demo of that. I've been told that's a lot better looking than it sounds, because Lord of the Rings games, they've been spitting them out a while.
Yeah, they're kind of usually kind of...
But there's some cool things going on in that game. I might check that out.
Oh, wow, that's the bottom of the list.
Yep.
Wow, that's a short list.
Well, that took us quite a long time. How long have we been recording now?
I don't know how long have we
Like
been?
nearly 2 hours.
Do-do-do-do.
Oh, only an hour.
An hour and 25 minutes, that'll do.
That's not that long. How do you end a podcast? What's the way to do that?
Probably with like an explosion. We should just... That'll be the thing. We'll just end everything with an explosion.
Okay. You can just stop it now and we can just put an explosion at the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
That works.
We can jump on various games and just film explosions.
Oh,
That sounds like effort though, so we'll just probably just YouTube or Google explosion and put that at the end. Fine.
And to avoid copyright infringement, obviously we won't do that. We'll download freesamples.org. We'll ask them for permission to use it in our video.
Don't sue us.